Hello everyone. Now let us come across what is this alcohol abuse or drug abuse. So what is the first very important cause? So let us see what are the effects of alcoholism. Drugs means it is not medicines here. These are narcotic drugs. So relieve oneself from the pain, then it will become an addiction. Very important point to be noted. Welcome back to session 9 of this very important chapter called Human Health and Diseases. What did we learn in the last session? We learned about a very important deadliest disease, that is about cancer. What is cancer? What are the types of tumor? And what is the difference between the benign tumor and the malignant tumor? And what are the causes for cancer? And what are the probable treatments that is given to cure cancer? What are we going to study in today's session? Hope if you see this diagram itself, you can make a guess that we are going to study about a very important concept, that is about alcoholism and drug and alcohol abuse. Now let us come across what is this alcohol abuse or drug abuse. All of us know that nowadays people are thronging for alcohol. I don't know what enjoyment they are going to get by consuming this alcohol, but if at all they go through the after effects of consumption of alcohol, then they will know that how bad it is to consume alcohol. Now let us see what is this alcoholism and what is this drug abuse. So consumption of alcoholic beverages, like for example coffee, tea is also a beverage, but consumption of coffee and tea is not called as alcoholism, right? So consumption of alcoholic beverages is called alcoholism. And continuous, I think all of us know many people have become addicts to alcohol. What do you mean by alcohol addiction? That is continuous use of alcohol, making the person to get addicted to alcohol is called alcoholic addiction. Anything too much is too bad. If they are continuously use this alcohol consumption, then definitely they will get addicted with alcohol and they cannot survive without alcohol. We have come across in our daily life many people who have become alcoholic addict, right? So what is alcoholism? Consumption of alcoholic beverages is called alcoholism. And what do you mean by alcohol addiction? Continuous use of alcohol makes the person to get addicted to alcohol, and that process of addiction to alcohol is called alcoholic addiction. And I think all of us know how bad it is to consume alcohol. What are the after effects of consumption of alcohol? All that we are going to study in this particular session. Now let us study what are the causes of alcoholism. Why does a person become addicted to an alcoholic beverage? There are many reasons to quote why a person becomes alcoholic. Maybe first one, due to desire or excitement. Maybe for example friends are taking alcohol, even they want to give a try. So in that case they will start consuming alcohol, and that will become a practice, and continuous intake of alcohol will make them alcoholic addict. So desire, so they just want to taste it, like how this alcohol will be, because many people are taking now. So and due to excitement, that is what I said. They want to feel, they want to enjoy the feel of consumption of alcohol. That is the reason. So due to desire and excitement. Here you can see how this person has become alcoholic addict, right? So continuously he is called as what? Alcoholic addict. So you cannot change this person, and it is very difficult for a person to come out of this alcoholic addiction. They can come out definitely, but if at all they make up their mind, definitely they can come out of their alcoholic addiction. So what is the first very important cause? Due to desire or excitement. Feeling of independence. I don't know what independence they are going to get, freedom they are going to get by consuming alcohol. They feel that they are totally free. So whatever they have in their mind, the thoughts, everything will be free. So maybe that is the reason they feel that they will be totally free of mind, and that is the reason why they consume alcohol. Escape from disappointment and failure. Many people will have lot of disappointments in life and a lot of failures in life. As you know, failures are stepping stone for success, but that they will not understand. So if at all they want to overcome that disappointment and failure, just take alcohol and forget everything. But it is all temporary, right? But the after effect of consumption of alcohol is permanent, right? Once the liver gets damaged and their body gets prone to some diseases, definitely they cannot get back their good health. As you all know, health is wealth. At this point of time, in this present scenario, all of us know due to this coronavirus pandemic, how difficult it is for a person to maintain good health. And imagine if a person is alcoholic addict like this and having a lot of bad habits, then definitely he or she will be prone to the coronavirus. So only the immunity, and it is also going to reduce the immunity of the body. As you know, right now in this present scenario, the body should have a lot of good immunity to fight against this deadliest coronavirus. So escape from disappointment and failure. If at all they come across any disappointments or any failures in life, so the only way to overcome is to consume what? Alcohol. And to get rid of worries and hardship. Who doesn't have hardships? Who doesn't have worries? So that doesn't mean to say that to overcome this worries and hardship, they need to consume alcohol. Without consuming alcohol only, just by consuming alcohol, all the worries will be solved. No, all the hardships will be solved. No, it's not possible. So only they have to make up their mind to overcome that problem. That is the reason why. And as I said, some of them in order to get rid of worries or hardship, then definitely they will start consuming alcohol. These are all the possible reasons or causes for alcoholism. So what is it? What is the first cause? Due to desire and excitement and feeling of what? Independence. Then escape from what? Disappointment and failure. And to get rid of what? Worries and hardship. And that is the reason why a person will become an alcoholic addict. Now, what are the effects of alcoholism? Definitely. So, if they continuously consume alcohol, then what will happen to their body parts? Definitely the organs will be affected. Now, let us see what are the effects of alcoholism. If a person gets to know about the after effects of consuming alcohol, definitely he or she will not even think of taking alcohol. So, let us see what are the effects of alcoholism. First is gastritis. This is a very, very common problem which you come across in an alcoholic addict. What is it? Increased secretion of gastric juice leads to what? Gastritis. So gastric juice will release what? More of HCl. And this will lead to what? Acidity. There is no food in the stomach but only alcohol. So HCl, as you know, it acts on alcohol. It acts on what? It acts on food and converts it. So the inactive enzymes are activated by HCl. But in a person who consumes alcohol, there is no proper food but only alcohol. Then obviously what will happen? It will lead to what? Increased secretion of gastric juice which contains HCl, and that will lead to what? Gastritis. So they'll have that burning sensation. And second very important effect is what? Cirrhosis. What is the cirrhosis? Alcoholic fat stores in the liver. All of us know how important liver is. So liver is a very important exocrine gland which secretes bile juice, which has a great role to play in the process of digestion of fat food, right? And also we know the bile salts also. So here alcoholic fat stores in the liver and the liver becomes fibrous. And that is what it is leading to liver cirrhosis. As I said, continuous intake of alcohol is definitely going to damage a very, very important organ in the body, that is the liver. So second after effect of alcoholism is what? Cirrhosis. Next, increase in BP. Obviously, if a person consumes alcohol continuously, there is increase in blood pressure. What is blood pressure? Pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of the arteries. But here, the walls of the arteries or the blood vessels is lined by what? Alcoholic fat. So the blood vessels will be constricted. So when the blood vessels are narrowed, obviously there is a disturbance in the blood pressure, and that will lead to what? Increase in BP. And increase in BP is again a very bad effect on the body, which may affect the other organs of the body, particularly the heart, right? Next, urine becomes hyperosmotic. Most of the water content, everything is reabsorbed by the nephrons of the kidney, and some of the impurities are reabsorbed by the nephrons of the kidneys. So all that mechanism is affected if a person is alcoholic addict. That is, urine becomes hyperosmotic. Alcoholic fat affects the functioning of nephrons of kidney. As you know, nephrons are the structural and functional units of kidney. If at all they are damaged, then obviously the excretion will be affected. And the excretory waste in the body, in the human body, that is a nitrogenous waste in the human body, is thrown out of the body through what? Through urine. And if at all urine becomes hyperosmotic, definitely, as I said, the nephrons of the kidneys will be affected. So very important. Here see, liver is affected, here kidney is affected, here even the digestive system is affected. See what are all the after effects of alcohol. With all these after effects, still a person wants to consume alcohol. That means it's really ridiculous, right? Now, loss of body balance. This is a very, very common thing which we come across. A person who is alcoholic addict will have no body balance. You might have seen many people just wandering around, right? Because there is no body balance, and slurred speech. If you happen to listen to their talk, you can make out all, you can't even understand what they are speaking. That is slurred speech, foolish laughter. They laugh something like very vague, this one smile. Then blurred image and double vision. So whatever they see, they will not see will not have a proper vision. So you might have come across even a person who is alcoholic addict, consumption, during the process of consumption of alcohol, they will not know what they are doing. So sometimes even they would have committed a crime, but they will not know. Only they will get to know after they come back from their when they come back to their normal state, right? Then very important is what? Amnesia. What is amnesia? Loss of memory. Loss of memory. Also it may lead to what? Dementia, mental deterioration. So day by day, if they continuously start taking alcohol, then definitely it may lead to the dementia, that is mental deterioration. As I said, it is going to affect what? The brain. As you know, the brain is the very important part of the central nervous system, and if that is damaged or if it is not functioning properly, then the whole body will be disturbed. The normal functioning of the body will be disturbed. So all these are the after effects of alcoholism. So first one is what? First effect is what? Gastritis. Second one is liver cirrhosis. Third one is what? Increase in BP. Then the kidneys will be affected. Then loss of body balance, slurred speech, foolish laughter, blurred images and double vision. Then amnesia. Then dementia. Amnesia and dementia. All these are the after effects of alcohol. Hope you have understood what are the effects of alcohol. See, in spite of all these effects, still a person wants to consume alcohol. So a person has to think twice before consuming alcohol. Moving on to the next very, very important concept of this session, that is narcotic drugs. This has become a very, very common process nowadays, particularly in the younger generation. Now this has become a fashion. Particularly you come across in metropolitan cities, in the name of urbanization, in the name of development, like we say our country is developed. In what way are we developed? So you can see the younger generation particularly addicted to narcotic drugs. Here you can see in the picture. So that is the reason why nowadays the younger generation is lost in a world called narcotic drugs. And once if they are addicted to narcotic drugs, it is very, very difficult to bring them back to normalcy, or rehabilitation of such people is very, very difficult. But still, if they make up their mind, definitely they can come out of this addiction called narcotic addiction or narcotic drug addiction. Already we have come across in the previous slide about alcoholic addiction. Now let us understand, many people are having wrong notion about this drugs, and they will give a try to know what are these drugs all about. Drugs means it is not medicines here. These are narcotic drugs. What do you mean by narcotic drugs? The drugs which affect the functioning of the central nervous system. So they are the agents which is going to affect the CNS activity. CNS activity and induce what? Sleep. So these are the drugs which is going to affect the CNS activity, that is the central nervous system and activity, and induce what? Induce sleep. Hence these are called as what? These are called as psychotropic drugs. I repeat, the drugs which affect the functioning of the central nervous system are called narcotic drugs, and as I said, they are also called as psychotropic drugs since they act on what? Brain, and alter the behavior, consciousness, power of thinking and perception. So all these are the after effects of consuming narcotic drugs. Hence they are called as what? Psychotropic drugs, right? So what are these narcotic drugs? Narcotic drugs are psychotropic drugs which is going to affect the CNS activity and induce sleep, right? Now let us see what are the different types of narcotic drugs, and it is a very serious problem in the present scenario, because many people are giving a try to know what is this CNS. Maybe due to peer pressure also they'll come across these narcotic drugs, and you may also they will come across with narcotic peddlers who supply the narcotic drugs. Once these, and whenever you come across the younger generation addicted to such narcotic drugs, we should create awareness among them, particularly in the younger generation. So the younger generation is going out of the way. Actually, our country's development depends upon the younger generation, and imagine if the younger generation are lost in such narcotic drugs, then how is our country going to develop? And imagine what will be the state of their parents when they get to know that their children are addicted to narcotic drugs, and they're just going to spoil their beautiful life. Life is something which is very beautiful, and it is beautiful without intake of narcotic. They feel that their life will be very happy if they consume narcotic drugs, which is a wrong notion, right? So hope you have understood what are narcotic drugs. So what are narcotic drugs? The drugs which affect the functioning of the CNS, hence they are called as narcotic drugs. They are also called as what? Psychotropic drugs, since they act on what? Since they act on the brain and alter behavior, consciousness, power of thinking and perception. Now let us see what are the different types of narcotic. Let us classify the narcotic drugs. Here the types of narcotic drugs. So based on the mode of action on brain, drugs are classified into 4 types. So what is the basis for classifying the narcotic drugs? Based on the mode of action on the brain. How is it? As I said, these are the drugs which is going to affect what? The CNS activity, the brain particularly. Hence we use the word called narcotic drugs. So based on the mode of action on brain, drugs are classified into 4 types. What are they? Stimulants, depressants. So first one is called stimulant, second one is called depressant. Depressants are also called as what? Sedatives. Third one is called analgesics like opiates. Then hallucinogens. Fourth one is called hallucinogens. What are the 4 types of narcotic drugs? The 4 types of narcotic drugs are stimulants, depressants. Depressants are also called as what? Sedatives, sleep inducing drugs. Then analgesic, and you can also call them as tranquilizers. Tranquilizers. In order to catch hold of the wild animals, they tranquilize, right? So like that. So these are also called as what? Tranquilizers, sedatives. Analgesics, usually they are called painkillers, right? Then hallucinogens, mind expanding drugs. Something they feel that there is something, they're in heaven, they're flowing, they're just floating in the air. All that is called what? Mind expanding drugs. Now let us see one by one. What are stimulants? What are depressants? What are analgesics? And what are hallucinogens? I repeat, what are the 4 types of narcotic? What is the basis for classifying the narcotic drugs? The narcotic drugs are classified based on the mode of action on brain into how many types? 4 types. What are they? Stimulants, depressants, analgesics and hallucinogens. So depressants are also called as what? Sedatives. They are also called as what? Tranquilizers. Now moving on to the first one. Stimulants. They stimulate the nervous system, provide excitement and reduce sleep and hunger. I told you they act directly on the brain, the CNS. So what are stimulants? Stimulants, that is, they stimulate the nervous system and provide excitement and reduce what? Sleep and hunger. Hence the name stimulants. The drugs are going to stimulate the nervous system, provide provide a feeling of excitement and reduce sleep and hunger. Hence they are called as stimulants, right? So what are stimulants? Stimulants are those drugs which is going to stimulate the nervous system and provide a lot of excitement and reduce sleep and hunger. What are the classical examples you are going to give for stimulants? Like for example, caffeine, coffee. Continuous coffee and tea is also a type of stimulant, right? But it should be taken to a limited extent. Too much, anything too much is too bad. Then cocaine, then nicotine, then amphetamine. Nicotine like tobacco, all that, tobacco chewing, all that, right? So what are the stimulants? Stimulants are those drugs which stimulate the nervous system, which provide excitement, reduce sleep and hunger. What are the classical examples? Caffeine, cocaine, nicotine and amphetamines. This is a very important concept to be learned, as this is usually asked in the P-board question paper. So this is a very common thing which you come across in the younger generation, and particularly for creating awareness among the younger generation, particularly the PU level students. That is a reason this very important concept is introduced in this very important chapter called Human Health and Disease. At least by knowing this, at least the children will get aware and they will get to know that they are not supposed to take such dreadful drugs called narcotic drugs. Next, moving on to the second one called depressants. So what are depressants? Here you can see, as I said, they can also be called as what? Sedatives, or you can also use the word called tranquilizers. You can also use the word called tranquilizers. So what are these? It relieves the user of anxiety. Suppose depressant. Suppose if they have come across some disappointment or failure, so they start taking this narcotic drugs. Say they want to come out of it. How? It relieves the user of anxiety and brings about a feeling of relaxation. So they feel that they are too much relaxed by taking such drugs. Then calmness and drowsiness and deep sleep. That is the reason. So when they consume such depressants or sedatives or tranquilizers, they'll feel drowsiness and sometimes they go for what? Deep sleep. So this is the after effect of sedatives. So as I said, they are directly going to act on the brain, mode of action on the brain. So this is going to act on the brain. What is it going to induce? So it is going to induce a feeling of anxiety. It is going to relieve the person from anxiety, bring about a feeling of relaxation, calmness and drowsiness and deep sleep. Right? Now, this is about the depressants. Hope you have understood the third type. Moving on to the third type, that is third type, second type depressant, third type analgesic, opiates. You can also use them, call them as pain relievers. So these are the drugs which suppress the brain activity and also reduce pain. As I said, they are used as what? Pain reducers, pain relievers, right? So analgesics. Like we in our daily pharmaceutical drugs also we have this painkillers, but this is something which is more serious than those drugs, right? So these drugs suppress the brain activity and reduce what? Pain. Example, heroin. You might have come across, this is a very common drug which is commonly used in the drug users, that is the brown sugar. Right. Commonly it is called as brown sugar, right? Then morphine. It is usually called as smack also, then morphine, codeine, then methadone. All these are called the analgesics. So what are analgesics? These drugs suppress the brain activity and also what? Also reduce what? Pain. What are the examples you are going to give? Heroin, brown sugar, morphine, codeine and methadone. These are called analgesic. So moving on to the last but one type of narcotic drug called hallucinogens. As I said, they are mind expanding drugs. They feel that they are something sailing in the air. They are somewhere in the heaven. Nobody has seen heaven, but they feel that they are in heaven, right? So these are mind expanding drugs. They can alter thoughts. That is the reason why they feel that they are in air, sailing in the air, they are in heaven, something in a very nice place, because it is going to alter the thoughts and the feelings and perception. They feel something, it is like inducing something which is not true. And that is why you call the word called hallucinogens, mind expanding drugs. And what are the examples you are going to give? LSD. So when you expand LSD, lysergic acid diethylamide. Diethylamide. What is LSD? Lysergic acid diethylamide. Then ganja. Usually you might come across this word called ganja. Then marijuana, hashish. All these are called hallucinogens. Right? So hope you have understood all the 4 types of narcotic drugs. I'll repeat once again. So what are these narcotic drugs? Narcotic drugs are psychotropic drugs, or they are going to affect the CNS activity and induce sleep also. And these are classified based on the mode of action on the brain into 4 types, namely the stimulants, the depressants, the analgesics and the hallucinogens. So what are stimulants? Stimulate the nervous system, provide excitement, reduce what? Reduce sleep and hunger. What are the examples? Caffeine, cocaine, nicotine and amphetamine are the examples for stimulant. What are depressant? Depressants are also called as what? Sedatives. They are also called as what? Tranquilizers. Sedatives means what? Which will induce sleep. So it relieves the user of anxiety and bring about a feeling of relaxation, calmness, and it causes what? Drowsiness and sometimes even deep sleep. Examples: barbiturates such as Nembutal, Seconal, etc. These are the examples for depressants. Moving across the third one called analgesics, which are also called as opiates. These drugs suppress what? The brain activity and also reduce what? Reduce pain. Hence they are called as what? Pain relievers. Examples for analgesic: heroin, commonly called as what? Brown sugar, then morphine, codeine and methadone. Moving across to the last but one narcotic drug called hallucinogens. These are what? Mind expanding drugs. They are going to alter the thoughts and the feelings and perception. Examples: LSD, that is lysergic acid diethylamide, and ganja, marijuana and hashish. All these are the different types of narcotic drugs. Now let us come across the next very important, as I said, analgesics are also called as what? Opiates, right? So here, what are they? These are the drugs that relieve pain, analgesics. Analgesic, right? So without causing loss of consciousness, they decrease perception, reaction of pain and increase pain tolerance, exudates, and these are exudated from a plant called poppy plant, which is called Papaver somniferum. These are called as what? Papaver somniferum. So what are the examples I told you? Heroin, opium, heroin, which is called brown sugar, diacetyl morphine or smack or morphine, methadone. All these are the examples. So opiates, these are the drugs that relieve pain without causing what? Without loss of consciousness. Sometimes some drugs, if they take, they lose their consciousness, but here in this case they will not lose the consciousness without causing loss of consciousness, and they decrease what? Perception, reaction of pain and increase of pain tolerance. If at all, I think very slight doses are given for this one, but if a person keeps on taking for a longer time to relieve oneself from the pain, then it will become an addiction. And opiates are usually extracted from a poppy plant, from a plant called poppy plant, and the scientific name is Papaver somniferum. What are the examples for opiates? You can see here. This is also called as smack. Also, they are taken in the form of tablets or as a powder, right? So opium, heroin, that is, we call it as brown sugar, diacetyl morphine, or what we call it as smack powder, morphine, methadone, etc. All these are the examples for opiates. Moving across the hallucinogens, which are also called as cannabinoids. So these drugs change thoughts, feelings and perception. As I said, all these are the drugs which is called as mind expanding drugs. They are going to alter the thought, feelings and perception. So it increases what? Heart rate and BP. They are obtained from parts of a plant called hemp plant, that is Cannabis sativus and Cannabis indica, such as they are extracted either from the flower or from the leaves or from the young stem. So let us once again see the examples. Stimulants already I have explained. That what are the examples? Caffeine, tea, that is tea, then cocaine, then opiates, that is heroin, morphine, codeine, then sedatives, as I said, these are, you can also call them as what? depressants, or you can also use the word called tranquilizers. Barbiturates, Risperidone, Seconal. Then hallucinogens, ganja, marijuana, LSD. All these are the examples. As I have already given the examples of all these hallucinogens, and this is the general examples of all the four types of narcotic drugs. So what are these? These are nothing but 4 types of narcotic drugs. How are they classified? Based on the mode of action on brain. Based on the mode of action on brain. Stimulants, opiates and hallucinogens. Then opiates already it is extracted from Papaver somniferum. Cannabinoids is extracted from Cannabis sativus. Then cocaine is extracted from Erythroxylon coco. Hallucinogens from Atropa belladonna. Now, the characteristics of adolescence period. Coming across again a very, very important concept which is really need to be taken care of, particularly in the younger generation which have attained adolescence period. This is a period where they need to be guided in a proper manner both by the parents and by the society, because they are the ones who are going to take the country towards what you call it as development, or they are the future citizens of our developing country. So it is a very, very important concept to be noted. So what is this adolescence period? Many a times you would have come across, even this is a very common thing which we come across in our daily life at home, right? So when the children have attained an adolescence period, so there is a transitional change from childhood to adulthood. So there are a lot of bodily changes, hormonal changes happening in the body of an individual, may it be a girl or a boy. So at that time, during this transformational changes, so a lot of behavioral changes also is followed, and that should be understood by the parents and give them the right awareness, right? This is a very, very important point to be noted by all the elders, particularly the parents, right? And what is this adolescence period? This is a transitional age from childhood to adulthood. Childhood, they would have been totally free. So once they reach the adulthood, there are certain restrictions made by the parents. There are some do's and don'ts. So obviously they feel that they are pressurized by the parents or by the elders. So they feel that, oh, every time the parents are pressurizing me not to do this, do that, don't go there, come here. So all these are the things which will definitely pressurize the minds, younger minds of those children, and definitely it may lead to so many other problems. So what is adolescence period? This is a transitional age from childhood to adulthood, that is between 12 to 18 years. This is a very, very crucial period of an individual, we can say crucial age of an individual, right? So that particular period from 12 to 18 years is called what? Adolescence. Very, very important point to be noted. And every parent should take care of their children, particularly when they reach this adolescence age. They should not neglect, right? Guide them in the proper way. Definitely they will not be prone to some bad habits, and later on they need not suffer. There are many cases, we might have heard about many examples where children commit suicide because they don't, because they usually they feel that they are pressurized by the parents, do this, don't do that. All that things will happen because their mind will be something totally different at this particular point of time. So this is a very, very crucial age, as I said, in an individual. So what is adolescence period? The transitional age from childhood to adulthood, that is from between 12 to 18 years is called adolescence. And I think all of us do agree, this is the age where we also call it as a monkey age. Why? Because they'll be jumping around with lot of energy, joy and happiness. So in that particular age, they'll have lot of curiosity. As I said, they'll have very curious mind and experimentation. As I said, why particularly the children of this age go to become drug addicts or become an alcohol addict? Because they want to give a try, curious about to know what is alcohol consumption all about, what is this narcotic. When everybody are taking, why should I not? Why even I will also give a try? Maybe a friend. So actually the person would not prefer to have such narcotic drugs or alcohol. The friend, peer pressure will tell, oh, nothing will happen, you just have it. and you just experience it, how good it is. So in that way they are induced by the peers. So peer pressure also may land them up in getting addicted to such dreadful addictions like the alcohol and the drug addiction. So curiosity and experimentation are the common causes which motivate youngsters towards drug and alcohol use. As I said, curiosity and experimentation will land them where? Will land them into alcohol and drug addiction. But later the child starts using these to escape facing problems. So in the beginning, as for a curiosity or for experimentation, they'll start taking, and later on what, it will become a habituate. They get habituated to all these addictions, and they feel that they can overcome the problems, and definitely in future course of their lifetime they may come across maybe like they failed in their examination. So in that case they want to overcome that failure. As I said, they will go to consume alcohol, or they take this narcotic drugs, right? So what is this? Adolescence period, the transitional age from childhood to adulthood, that is between 12 to 18 years, is called adolescence. And what will during that period, what will they have? Lot of curiosity and experimentation are the common cause which motivate the youngsters towards drug and alcohol use. But later the child, what will start using it to escape from what? Escape from problems or from failures or from disappointments, right? Now, addiction and dependence of drugs. So once they are addicted to these drugs, they'll have what you call it as a kind of attachment towards those drugs. May it be alcohol or for the drugs. So it is called psychological attachment to certain effects of drugs and alcohol is called addiction. Right? Euphoria, then temporary feeling of well-being are some effects produced by alcohol, drug. They feel that, once they consume such alcohol or drugs, they feel that they are relieved of all the problems, disappointment, failures, and they feel their mind is somewhat in an excited state, a thought of perception. All these other things what they will overcome when they start consuming this alcohol and drugs. So with repeated use of these drugs, so what will the tolerance level of the receptors in our body increases. So our body, what will happen to the CNS, central nervous system, that is about the brain. So imagine if a person continuously uses this alcohol and drugs continuously, then what will happen to the brain cells? Definitely the brain cells will start deteriorating, and ultimately it may land them up into something which is very, very difficult for them to come out of it, right? So it's a very, very serious problem which has to be taken care of, right? Before they become addicted, so care should be taken to see that they will not. So this is a very, very important thing which the parents should note. That is, they should always watch their children. Keep an eye on their children, what they are doing, where are they going, all these things. And sometimes they may feel bad. So every time you're asking me, where are you going, with whom are you talking, all these are the general things which you come across in younger generation, right? They question. But still it is the duty of the parents to watch their children, guide their children, not only just watching, guide their children in the proper manner, not just scolding them, hey, you're doing that, this, not scolding, tell them in nice words. Definitely they will listen and they will come back to the normal manner, and in that way you can change them. So see, all this is something like very common in everyday life, but how you handle such situation is very, very important. So all that care should be taken by the parents and the elders. So dependence is the tendency of the body to become adapted to presence of drugs, and dependence on this presence physically and psychologically. They become so very dependent. Suppose if this addiction continues again and again, and if they are not stopped at one particular point of time, then this addiction will become so much so that you cannot bring them back to normalcy. They feel that they cannot survive without the drugs, and the withdrawal thing will be very, very difficult. So before they attain to that particular level, care should be taken, bring them back to the normalcy, rehabilitate with them. You give them a chance, right? So guide them in a proper way. Definitely I'll tell you, any child, if at all they are overcoming such addictions, will definitely come out of such addictions. So all this I said, these are the very, very important points to be noted, and this is not just to pass your exam, children. You should also be aware of it and also create awareness to others regarding how what are the after effects of intake of such harmful things, narcotic drugs, or maybe even alcohol, right? So psychological attachment to certain effects of drugs and alcohol is called addiction. It cases what? Euphoria, then temporary feeling of well-being, some effects produced by alcohol or drugs. So with repeated use of drugs, the tolerance level of the receptors in a body increases. So dependence is the tendency of the body to become what? Adapted to presence of drugs. And what will it lead to? Dependence and on its presence, physically and psychologically. Suppose even if you try to avoid them taking or don't give them money to buy or such narcotic drug, but still you feel that they cannot survive without intake of such narcotic. They would have reached that particular stage where they cannot come out of it. But as I said, definitely you can bring them back to normalcy. Bringing back them to rehabilitation is very, very important. So the withdrawal symptoms or syndrome of usage of drugs. These are very, very common thing. You can make out the difference between a normal child and a drug addict, right? Usually you might have come across the differences between. So continuous, they don't go to college. Their continuous absenteeism. They'll have a lot of aggressive behavior, right? So they keep on sleeping, and they'll have whatever call it as mood swings will be there. All these are the common symptoms of this withdrawal symptoms of the usage of drugs. So these are the symptoms seen if regular use of drugs or alcohol is suddenly discontinued. Usually you might have come across. You can see the behavior of a drug addict or an alcohol addict when compared to a normal person. So you try. So as I said, continuous absenteeism, having no interest in studies. They want to remain alone. They don't want to speak to anybody else. So something like they'll be lost in a complete, totally new world. But suppose you try to withdraw them from such addiction, what will be the symptoms? So that is called the withdrawal symptoms. So these are the symptoms seen if regular use of drugs or alcohol is suddenly discontinued. Suddenly, if it is all of a sudden, the person is continuously, for example, even what you call smoking. Some will be chain smokers. So they'll be smoking so much of cigarettes, and suddenly if you stop them, definitely it is going to disturb their behavior. So this is called withdrawal symptom. Now let us see. So what are the adverse effects of drug and alcohol abuse? As I said, so the effects of drug and alcohol abuse are drop in academics. Definitely they will not be interested in studies. So pursuing their education will be a hindrance in such people who are addicted to alcohol or drug. Lack of interest in personal hygiene, very, very important. They'll not have their bath, they'll not clean their body. So all these are the things which is regularly seen in such people. So first one is what? Drop in academics, lack of interest in personal hygiene, depression. They'll be almost like in a world, lost world. So they feel and they don't have interest to speak to somebody else, have food, and be in a normal behavior. Like they don't speak to their parents, not to their relatives. So what is it? Depression, then isolation. As I said, they prefer to be isolated. They don't want to mingle with anybody. Then aggressive behavior, they'll be very, very aggressive. So even if you speak to them, they will just burst out. Then loss of appetite, they'll not have their proper food. Then change in sleep and eating habits. These are all the common symptoms which you come across in those people. The effects, you can say. Reckless behavior, vandalism. What do you mean by vandalism? Just breaking the things what they have, they come out, right? So whatever they have in their hand, they try to throw it at somebody else, hurt somebody, right? All that is called vandalism. Violence. Sometimes even they may even commit crime also, right? Then drowsiness. They always will not be in an active state. They'll feel somehow they'll be in having drowsiness. Mental confusion. They'll not know what to do. So they'll be in a total confusion state, trembling, their body will be shaking. All these are the common effects of intake of either a narcotic drug or alcohol. Then chronic use of drug and alcohol damages what? Nervous system and liver. I told no. I explained in the previous slide how it damages the liver. So alcoholic fat will start depositing and it is going to make the liver fibrous and it's going to damage the liver. So obviously if liver is damaged, that's the end of a person. And nervous system, brain is affected. So drug abusers are more likely to get serious infections like AIDS and hepatitis B. Why? Because continuous use of these drugs and alcohol will reduce their immunity. Obviously, when their body is having a weak immune system, then definitely what will it, as I said, they'll be prone to AIDS virus like HIV virus, which is going to still damage the immune system, and even the hepatitis B. So use of drugs, alcohol leads to what? Already I have told, gastritis, peptic ulcers and pancreatitis. So even the pancreas is going to get damaged. As you know, pancreas is both an endocrine gland and an exocrine gland. And in females, I think nowadays you come across even the females are also addicted to narcotic drugs and alcohol. As I said, in the name of urbanization, in the name of modernization. So they, in order to maintain status in the society, even some females also are addicted to intake of certain alcohol and drugs. So may induce what? Mood swings and depressions, and particularly in females, this is also one cause for what? Sterility. Sterility in females. Sterility in females. So also sterility in males also. What do you mean by sterility? That is inability to bear children. So that is also one. Then in males, certain drugs may induce mood swings, depression, reduction in testicular size, decreased sperm count, right? Breast enlargement, right? Then kidney and liver dysfunction, premature baldness, etc. All these are the after effects in case of male. And use of drugs, alcohol during pregnancy affects the fetus. Definitely when a pregnant woman is intaking, she is consuming alcohol and drug, then definitely it is going to affect the developing fetus. And overdose may also lead to what? Death. So all these are the after effects of alcohol or drug abuse. Hope you have understood. So what is it? What are the after effects? Let us brief up fast. That is drop in academics, lack of interest in personal hygiene, depression, isolation, aggressiveness, loss of appetite, change in sleep and eating habits, then reckless behavior, vandalism, violence, drowsiness, mental confusion, trembling, etc. Then chronic use of drugs may damage what? Damage the nervous system and the liver. And drug abusers are more likely to get serious diseases like AIDS and hepatitis. And particularly AIDS, as I said, when they use the same drug users, they will start sharing intravenous need. When they take the intravenous injection drugs, so in that they start sharing the needles. I think I have explained that in the previous session, right? So it is also like infected needles if they use. So definitely even the healthy person will get infected with deadly virus called HIV virus, which causes a deadly disease called AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, and hepatitis B also. All these hepatitis B, as I said, even it is all these are also sexually transmitted diseases. Knowingly or unknowingly, they may commit some mistake. So in that case also they get infected with this. Then use of drugs and alcohol leads to what? Gastritis, peptic ulcer and pancreatitis. In females, certain drugs may induce mood swings, depression also. So in males, as I said, it is going to reduce the testicular size, decrease sperm count, breast enlargement also will be there, gynecomastia it is called, then dysfunction, premature baldness, and use of alcohol and drugs, particularly during a pregnancy, may affect the developing fetus. So overdose may also lead to what? To death. So all these are the adverse effects of use of drug and alcohol. These are very, very important things. So this is not just, as I said, all these things are very, very important. It creates awareness among the younger generation or the users of either the alcohol or the drugs. So at least by seeing all these after effects, adverse effects of consumption of alcohol and drugs, at least they have to come out of this addiction and lead a normal and happy life. Hope you have understood this very important session, which I think most of the concepts what we have come across here, like we have discussed about the alcoholism, then the narcotic drugs, after effects of alcoholism, the adverse effects of alcoholism, what are narcotic drugs, what are the different types of narcotic drugs, how they are classified into stimulants, depressants, analgesics and hallucinogens based on the mode of action on the nervous system. And also we have come across what are the adverse effects of consumption of alcohol and narcotic drugs. At least by this, people who are addicted should definitely come out of this addiction and lead a normal and happy life, and definitely take a country towards a developing, you can call it as a make a country a developed country, right? Hope so. I'll be coming back with another new chapter in the next session. Till then, goodbye and thank you.